Often celebrated as the birthplace of humanity, Africa holds countless overlooked mysteries. From the enigmatic Sirius mystery to the perplexing Stone of God, here are 20 unsettling discoveries on the African continent that remain unexplained. Number 20. Mirror's Logbook. The Diary of Mirror, also known as the oldest surviving papyrus, is arguably among the most significant discoveries linked to the great Egyptian civilization. After all, it contains important information about the construction of the Great Pyramid of Khufu, something we've been trying to learn more about since the fall of this civilization. Dating back to around 2570 BCE, this diary was kept by Mirror, a government official who led a work crew in the transportation of limestone blocks crucial for the construction of the Great Pyramid. The papyrus was discovered in 2013 at a site along the Red Sea coast in eastern Egypt. Consists of several logbooks. These records, akin to an ancient Egyptian version of an Excel spreadsheet, detail the daily activities of Mirror's 40-man team. Their primary task involved shipping limestone from the quarry at Terra to the Great Pyramid site. This immense logistical operation was part of the larger infrastructure built to support the pyramid's construction, including canals, port facilities, and a significant artificial harbor termed the Basin of Khufu, connected to the Nile. The diary entries are systematically arranged, starting with a heading naming the month and season, followed by a horizontal line listing the days of the months and 2 vertical columns describing the daily activities. With how much information it contains, archaeologists often hail this as the greatest discovery in Egypt in the 21st century. Now it's time for today's topic. In early 2022, deep in the remote wilderness of Namibia, a group of farmers made a horrifying discovery. While transporting supplies through a dirt road near the edge of the Etosha National Park, their path was suddenly blocked. Coiled across the dusty trail was a massive, 2-headed snake, its length stretching over 40 feet. The farmers were frozen in place, unable to comprehend the monstrous creature before them. The snake's 2 heads moved independently, scanning its surroundings as if aware of the commotion it had caused. News of the discovery quickly reached nearby villages, and soon, scientists from various parts of Africa arrived to study the mysterious creature. What they found left them speechless. This was not a typical snake. Its biology suggested some kind of mutation, something never before recorded. Local tribes had whispered legends about serpent spirits, but the scientific community had other, more chilling ideas. Some theorized that environmental contamination or radiation exposure had triggered the mutation, creating this terrifying anomaly. The discovery has rattled scientists, leaving many to question what other mutated creatures could be lurking in Namibia's vast, unexplored wilderness, waiting to be uncovered. For now, the giant, 2-headed snake remains a haunting reminder of the mysteries hiding deep in Africa. Number 19. The Sirius Mystery. The Dogon, a community in Mali, West Africa, has long been the subject of intrigue due to their seemingly advanced astronomical knowledge, particularly concerning the star system Sirius. The fact that they know of its existence is already astonishing. For instance, they're aware of Sirius as a binary system consisting of Sirius A and Sirius B. They know that the latter is a white dwarf of high density but small size. Now, you're probably thinking, well, of course they know, they probably observed it in the skies. Well, not quite. The Sirius B is not visible to the naked eye and was only identified by Western astronomers using advanced telescopes in 1862. In fact, its existence was confirmed much later in 1970. The Dogon referred to Sirius B as Potolo, a term that aligns remarkably with the star's physical characteristics. But that's not the limit of the Dogon's astronomical understanding. Aside from Sirius B, the Dogon were aware of other astronomical features such as the rings of Saturn and the 4 main moons of Jupiter. They also understood that the Earth was spherical and revolved around the Sun, a concept that really only became widespread in Western science in the early 20th century. This profound knowledge led to theories suggesting extraterrestrial contact, specifically with beings from the Sirius star system known as the Namos, described in Dogon mythology as semi-amphibious, hermaphroditic beings who imparted this knowledge to them. But, of course, with how illogical this theory is, there are many skeptics. Some researchers, like Carl Sagan and James Oberg, propose that European visitors might have influenced the Dogon's knowledge before it was formally recorded. Oberg suggests that their astronomical information resembled late 1920s European knowledge, possibly acquired through interaction with Europeans. There's also the possibility that the Dogon could have learned about Sirius B from astronomers visiting West Central Africa in the 1890s. These explanations propose a more earthly origin for the Dogon's knowledge, rooted in cultural exchange rather than extraterrestrial contact. Regardless of its origin, the Dogon's astronomical knowledge makes them among the subjects of extraterrestrial conspiracies. Number 18. Lindenberg Heads. The Lindenberg Heads is a set of 7 terracotta sculptures discovered in the late 1950s near Lindenberg in Mpumalanga, South Africa. These figures are believed to have been from around 500 AD, making them one of the earliest known examples of African Iron Age art. Two of these heads are notably larger, suggesting they were used as ceremonial helmet masks. The smaller heads, with holes on either side of the neck, might have been attached to poles or costumes for performances or rituals. Intricate details on these heads, such as facial features formed with thin clay strips and decorations, indicate a high level of craftsmanship and the symbolic significance these objects likely held for their creators. Other Iron Age artifacts, including ceramic vessels and beads made of iron, copper, and ostrich eggshells, were also found along with these artifacts, hinting at a well-organized community that valued artistic expression. Carbon dating of charcoal associated with the heads places their creation around 1410 before the present, roughly 500 AD. The discovery of the Lindenberg heads was a significant archaeological milestone. It shifted our understanding of the artistic capabilities and cultural complexities of early African societies. However, the exact function of these heads remains a subject of debate. They're generally believed to be used for ceremonial rituals, but we aren't sure. Number 17. Ishango bone. The Ishango bone, discovered in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, is a fascinating and ancient artifact that dates back to the Upper Paleolithic era, roughly 20,000 years ago. This artifact, believed to be the fibula of a baboon, is notable for its series of notches carved in 3 columns along its length. Now, what makes this particular bone remarkable? After all, many have been discovered in Africa throughout the years. You see, there's a theory that it may represent one of the earliest known mathematical artifacts. Experts believe the notches on the bone indicate a basic understanding of counting and possibly even more advanced mathematical concepts like prime numbers or the principle of multiplication and division by 2. For instance, the central column of notches begins with 3 marks, which then doubles to 6, continuing in a pattern that suggests a mathematical intention rather than random marking. Moreover, the grouping of notches on the bone has led to hypotheses that it could have been used as a counting tool for basic mathematical operations. The numbers in the left and right columns of the bone are particularly intriguing, with odd numbers like 9, 11, 13, 17, 19, and 21 on one side and numbers that are close to multiples of 10 on the other. This arrangement of numbers could point to an understanding of prime numbers and basic arithmetic operations. However, others believe the Ishango bone may have been used as a lunar calendar, aside from basic mathematical computations. The arrangement of the notches can also be correlated with the lunar phases, potentially indicating that the creator of the bone was tracking time based on the moon cycle. Despite these compelling theories, the exact purpose of the Ishango bone remains a subject of debate among scholars. While some argue that it was used for mathematical purposes, others suggest that the notches could have been simply for creating a better grip on the handle or for other non-mathematical reasons. Well, it would be funny if it really is the latter and we're all speculating for something so mundane. Number 16. Relics of the Kingdom of Kush. The Kingdom of Kush, flourishing in the region corresponding to modern-day Sudan, presents a fascinating chapter in ancient African history. This kingdom was established around 1069 BCE and lasted up until 350 CE. This kingdom bore witness to a rich cultural and political life, deeply influenced by its Egyptian neighbors to the north. In fact, early on, Kushite rulers were buried in pyramid tombs with Egyptian grave goods, a clear indication of the cultural interchange between Kush and Egypt. Moreover, during a certain period, the Kushite kings even became pharaohs of Egypt's 25th dynasty. A significant shift occurred when the Kushite kings, based in Meroe, moved away from Egyptian cultural influences. They adopted a unique writing system known as Meroitic, which remains undeciphered to this day. This period also saw Kush emerge as a commercial hub, exporting gold, ebony, incense, exotic animals, and ivory alongside grains, cereals, and iron weapons from its burgeoning metal industry. For this reason, the archaeological treasures of Kush that they left behind are all considered to be extremely significant. They've left behind several artifacts, from amulets and armlets to tombs, and yet the history of this kingdom remains mysterious. We know nothing about how this great civilization started. Maybe once we decipher the language on the tablets, we can truly begin learning about this kingdom. Number 15. Benin bronzes. The Kingdom of Benin, flourishing between the 13th and 19th centuries, was renowned for its sculptures made from bronze, iron, wood, ivory, and terracotta. The Benin bronzes, in particular, are a collection of brass and bronze sculptures and plaques that adorned the royal palace. These masterpieces were crafted using the intricate lost wax casting technique, showcasing the advanced metallurgical skills of the Edo people. The primary purpose of these artworks was to glorify the Oba, the divine king, capturing the essence of the kingdom's imperial power and rich history. These pieces were not just decorative, they played significant roles in rituals and courtly life. The bronzes depict various aspects of court life, including images of the Oba, warriors, and other significant figures, offering us a glimpse into the past. However, the story of the Benin bronzes also has a darker chapter marked by colonialism. In 1897, during the British punitive expedition against the Kingdom of Benin, these artifacts were looted and taken to Europe. This event was a significant blow to the kingdom and its people, ending its independence. Today, the Benin bronzes are spread across various museums and private collections worldwide. Their dispersion has sparked a vital discussion about colonial history and the ethics of art possession. There's a growing movement for the return of these artifacts to Nigeria, emphasizing their importance to the Edo people's cultural heritage. Number 14. Ethiopian wolf. Just take a look at this wolf. You'd think it's ordinary, but this is the most mysterious wolf species in the world. You see, the Ethiopian wolf, scientifically known as Canis simensis, is a unique and enigmatic creature, distinct in many ways from its wolf cousins around the globe. Native to Ethiopia's highlands, the Ethiopian wolf is one of Africa's most endangered animals. This creature has a slender build, long legs, and a notably elongated muzzle with smaller teeth than other wolf species. These wolves also have a striking reddish-brown coat with white markings on their face, legs, and undersides, and their bushy tails are marked with black at the tip and white at the base. Despite being the only wolf species on the continent, we don't know much about these creatures because of their elusive nature. What's more, this species is facing grave threats. The Ethiopian wolf is classified as endangered, with fewer than 500 individuals estimated to be alive today. Soon enough, they might exist exclusively in museums as taxidermy figures. Let's hope it won't come to that. Number 13. Blombos Cave Artifact. Nestled along the southern Cape coastline of South Africa, Blombos Cave is an archaeological site several miles east of Cape Town. This cavern has been a focal point of significant discoveries that reshaped our understanding of early human behavior. Excavations at Blombos Cave began in the early 1990s. From the beginning, experts have unearthed a remarkable array of artifacts dating back to the Middle Stone Age, approximately 100,000 to 70,000 years ago. Further explorations have revealed engraved ostrich eggshells and snail shells, which were likely used for stringing and bodily adornment. These artifacts suggest a sophisticated level of symbolic behavior and cultural expression previously underestimated in early human society. Number 12. The Shabaka Stone. The Shabaka Stone is an ancient Egyptian artifact that dates back to the 25th dynasty, around 710 BC. It's a large slab of basalt and plays a significant role in our understanding of Egyptian religious and philosophical thought. Seems normal, doesn't it? However, there's a mystery surrounding this artifact. This stone bears an inscription known as the Memphite theology, which centers on Ptah, the patron god of craftsmen, metalworkers, artisans, and architects in ancient Egyptian culture. This theology presents a creation myth where Ptah is depicted as the creator god responsible for the existence of the universe. It asserts the supremacy of the Memphite theological system, representing a central tenet of ancient Egyptian religious beliefs. It also elevated the status of Memphis, the capital city during Pharaoh Shabaka's reign, by associating it with a powerful creation myth and the god Ptah. Unfortunately, the Shabaka stone has suffered significant damage, primarily because it was later repurposed as a millstone. This has resulted in the loss of much of its original inscription, and so it's safe to say that we never really fully understood its history. Number 11. Abydos boats. The Abydos boats, discovered in one of Egypt's oldest cities, represent a remarkable chapter in the history of ancient Egyptian civilization and boat building. These boats, dating back to around 3000 BC, are among the earliest known instances of constructed boats. Unlike simpler reed vessels or dugout logs, these boats were built out of planks fitted together, showcasing a significant advancement in boat construction techniques. In Egyptian mythology, the sun god Ra was believed to travel through the sky by day and the netherworld by night in a solar boat. The burial of these boats near a pharaoh's tomb was likely symbolic, intending to offer the deceased ruler a similar eternal cycle of regeneration. Unfortunately, today these boats remain nowhere else but in the sands of Egypt. Number 10. Tomb of the Unknown Queen. Recently, a group of archaeologists stumbled upon the tomb of an unknown queen in Saqqara, a renowned archaeological site just south of Cairo where hundreds of tombs have been unearthed. However, this might be among the most significant and mysterious tombs found in the area. The tomb is believed to belong to Queen Neith, a name previously unknown to historians. Archaeologists revealed that the tomb was discovered in 2010. The unknown queen's tomb was found next to the pyramid of King Teti. Back then, Queen Neith's name never showed up in records. To this day, there's much left to learn about this ancient female monarch. Number 9. The Marble Berry. If I ask you to guess what the brightest object in nature is, what would you guess? I'm sure the answer would surprise you. This is a marble berry, a plant found in the forests of Central Africa. This plant is renowned for having the brightest organic substance in nature, with its fruit recognized for its striking iridescent blue color. The marble berry grows to about a meter tall and sprouts clusters of up to 40 small, impressively shiny fruits. Its appearance is so luminous that it resembles a cluster of shiny miniature Christmas baubles. The fascinating aspect of the marbleberry's brilliance lies in its unique method of color production. You see, unlike most plants that rely on pigments, the marbleberry's coloration is structural. This means that its color doesn't fade over time as pigments do. A study conducted on a sample from the Kew Gardens in London, collected in 1974, showed that the berry retained its vivid color for decades. The secret behind its enduring shine is found in its cellular structure. The fruit's outer layer consists of 3 to 4 layers of thick-walled cells containing cellulose fibers arranged in a spiral formation. When light hits these fibers, some of it is reflected, and the rest passes through to the other layers where the same effect occurs. This amplifies the light beams, producing the shimmering blue effect. This type of coloration, known as structural color, is more commonly observed in the animal kingdom, for example, in peacock feathers and the wings of certain butterflies and beetles. The marbleberry is a unique example of this phenomenon in the plant world. Number 8. Africa's honey fences. Fences are built either for protection or purely just for aesthetic. However, there are fences in Africa that are unimaginable, to say the least. They're not your typical wooden or metal barriers. They're beehive fences, an innovative and environmentally sustainable solution to the age-old problem of human-wildlife conflict, particularly with elephants. In areas like Kenya's Tsavo landscape and other parts of Africa where human settlements border wildlife habitats, conflicts between people and elephants are quite common. Elephants, in search of food, often venture into farms, leading to crop destruction and economic loss for farmers. They might be cute to us who don't deal with them on a regular basis, but for farmers, elephants are, for lack of a better word, pests that destroy their only source of food. The solution to this problem comes in the form of beehive fences developed by Dr. Lucy King and her team. These fences utilize the natural fear elephants have of bees. The fences consist of wire strings with beehives spaced about 10 meters apart. When an elephant attempts to cross the fence, it disturbs the bees, causing them to swarm and effectively deterring the elephant from proceeding further. Not only do these fences keep elephants away, but they protect crops from being raided, thereby securing the farmers' livelihoods. Moreover, the farmers involved in this project are trained in beekeeping, turning a defensive measure into a profitable venture. The sale of elephant-friendly honey provides an additional source of income, making it an economically attractive solution. Well now, this is an ingenious idea indeed. Number 7. The fairy circles. The fairy circles might be something you already know about. After all, they're one of nature's most intriguing and enduring mysteries. Scattered in the Namib Desert, these circles are barren patches of land, typically several feet in diameter, often surrounded by a ring of stimulated grass growth. For so long, scientists have been attempting to determine the cause of these barren rings. One theory suggests that these circles result from the competition between grasses for scarce water resources. The idea is that plants near each other help retain water by creating shade, but those further away compete fiercely for water, using long roots to draw moisture from a larger area. This competition could lead to the formation of regular patterns of bare circle. However, there's also another hypothesis that the culprits are termites. It's believed that termite colonies, through their foraging activities, could lead to the formation of these circles. Observations of termite nests within these circles support this theory. However, the regularity of the patterns formed by fairy circles isn't fully explained by the termite hypothesis alone. Of course, others combine both theories. Some believe that both plant competition for water and termite activity could be happening simultaneously, contributing to the formation of these mysterious circles. Recent research has also proposed the idea of vegetation self-organization as an explanation. This theory suggests that the bare soil in the circles and the surrounding vegetation pattern naturally respond to water scarcity. This self-organizing behavior of plants, where they compete for limited water resources, could lead to the emergence of these distinct and ordered gap patterns. Basically, this theory supports that plants themselves organize themselves in a region where water is scarce. Others continue to believe that the fairy circles are mystical, however. Number 6. Nok terracottas. The Nok culture, emerging in what is now modern-day Nigeria around 500 BCE and lasting until approximately 200 CE, represents one of Western Africa's earliest known societies. The Nok people are particularly renowned for their distinctive terracotta sculptures and their early mastery of iron technology. The terracotta sculptures, first unearthed near the Nigerian town of Nok, are primarily known for depicting human heads, figures, and animals. These sculptures are notable for their stylistic elements such as triangular or oval-shaped eyes and elaborate hairstyles on human figures. The Nok artisans showed a high level of skill in their craft. For instance, the terracotta figures often feature natural-looking openings for eyes, mouth, nostrils, and ear holes, which were functional as vent holes during the firing process. The Nok culture is also significant for its early use of iron smelting technology. Evidence suggests that they might have been among the few civilizations to transition directly from stone tools to iron tools without an intermediate phase of using copper or bronze. This technological leap is seen in the discovery of iron smelting furnaces and iron artifacts like farming tools and weapons. However, the scarcity of metal materials implied by the continued use of stone tools alongside metal ones indicates that metal might not have been widely available. Despite these insights, much about the Nok culture, including details of their society, social organizations, and the full extent of their influence on subsequent cultures, remains unknown. Number 5. World's darkest river. This photo shows the darkest river in the world, known as the Ruki River, located in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This river stands out for its remarkably dark waters. But why is this river so dark? Well, it's a feature attributed to the high concentration of dissolved organic matter. These organic compounds are primarily washed into the river by rainwater, which falls on decaying vegetation and leaches organic materials from the decomposing plant matter. This prolonged contact with the forest floor allows the river to further absorb organic substances, contributing to the unique darkness. For those with a fear of water, this might be a nightmare to look at. Number 4. Axum obelisks. The Axum obelisks, located in the ancient city of Axum or Axum in Ethiopia, are remarkable megalithic monuments that symbolize the Axumite Empire's rich history and architectural prowess. These towering structures, made primarily of granite, are believed to be over 1,700 years old and were erected during the height of the Axumite civilization, which flourished from the 1st to the 7th century CE. The central obelisk, the most prominent of these structures, stands at a staggering height of 79 feet and weighs approximately 160 tons. Its design features 2 false doors at the base and window-like decorations on all sides, reflecting the architectural elements of the Axumite period. Made of phonolite, a type of volcanic rock, it has a semicircular top originally covered by metal frames. But what about their purpose? Well, so far, they're thought to have marked royal burial sites, with their intricate designs imitating the architectural features of dry stone and timber housing. Number 3. Great Zimbabwe Ruins. Great Zimbabwe is a medieval city in southeastern Africa, often attributed to the Great Shona people. This ancient city, established around 1100 CE, was the capital of the Kingdom of Zimbabwe, a Shona trading empire. It thrived as a center of commerce and culture but was abandoned in the 15th century for reasons that are still unclear, though resource exhaustion and overpopulation are suspected contributors. The ruins are divided into 3 main sections: the hill complex, the great enclosure, and the valley ruin. The hill complex, believed to have been the religious center, is the oldest part of Great Zimbabwe, with evidence of construction dating back to 900 CE. The great enclosure, a walled circular area with walls over 9.7 meters high in some places, is considered one of the largest ancient structures in sub-Saharan Africa. It's thought to have been a royal residence or a symbolic grain storage facility. Lastly, the valley ruins consist of numerous houses made of mud brick, indicating a large population that could have ranged between 10,000 to 20,000 people. With its sheer scale, it's quite unexpected that much about the ruins remains unknown. Yes, we're yet to learn the true extent and history of these ruins. Number 2. Super banana. Imagine a banana that's more nutritious than the average bunch you pick up from your supermarket. Would you buy it? You see, a super banana is being developed in Uganda. This isn't just any ordinary banana, it's a game changer in the fight against nutritional deficiencies. Currently, the World Health Organization reports that approximately 190 million preschool children suffer from vitamin A deficiency, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa and Southeast Asia. Vitamin A deficiency is a major contributor to preventable blindness and hampers children's growth, weakening their resistance to treatable diseases like diarrhea and measles. The traditional banana, a staple in many African diets, lacks essential micronutrients such as provitamin A and iron. Enter the super banana, a genetically modified fruit designed to fill this nutritional gap, created by Uganda's National Agricultural Research Laboratories. This biofortified banana is enriched with alpha and beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A. The unique aspect of this super banana lies in its appearance and potential impact. While it looks like a regular banana on the outside, the inside reveals a distinctive orange flesh indicative of its enriched nutrient content. Unlike other crops, bananas have widespread accessibility throughout Uganda, making them a viable vehicle for delivering essential nutrients to combat vitamin A deficiency in the local population. Given that bananas are a dietary staple in Uganda, With around 90 varieties cultivated and an average annual consumption of 880 pounds per person, they present a promising solution. While uncertainty regarding GMO science remains a prominent concern, Uganda faces an additional challenge rooted in the cultural significance of bananas. The banana holds a sacred status in Ugandan culture, complicating the acceptance of genetically modified varieties. Locals express a strong preference for traditional bananas, citing concerns about sweetness and appearance. Some Ugandan farmers fear poor acceptance of genetically modified bananas, although others believe enhancing bananas through genetic modification makes for a better world. This reflects Ugandan aspirations to overcome malnutrition and extreme poverty, acknowledging the need for progress beyond traditional practices. Number 1. The Saqqara bird. The Saqqara bird is an artifact discovered in the tomb of Padi Iman in Saqqara, Egypt. Archaeologists believe it dates back to around 200 BC during the Ptolemaic dynasty. This small and seemingly insignificant artifact is made of sycamore wood. What makes it intriguing is its resemblance to modern aircraft. Mainstream views suggest several possibilities regarding this small figure's function. It might have been a ceremonial object, as the falcon form it resembles is commonly used to represent significant gods in Egyptian mythology like Horus and Ra. Alternatively, it could have been a toy for an elite child, a weather vane, or even a type of boomerang, a technology known in ancient Egypt for hunting waterfowl. However, others believe that the Saqqara bird isn't really a bird but rather something else, like perhaps a plane. The figure, despite being hailed as a bird, lacks carvings to represent feathers. However, others believe that this might be because the paint used to illustrate the feathers has faded over time. Even so, many continue to believe that this small figure isn't just a simple artifact. Egyptian physician Khalil Messaha continues to believe that it could be a model of an aircraft, mainly due to its vertical stabilizer and wing angles which are thought to be aerodynamic. However, experiments to replicate its flight, such as those by Martin Gregory and Ivan T. Sanderson using modified models, have shown mixed results. Despite these efforts, mainstream Egyptologists do not accept the theory that the Saqqara bird is a model of a flying machine, as no other evidence suggests the existence of ancient Egyptian aircraft. The Saqqara bird's true purpose remains a subject of speculation. Did the ancient Egyptians truly understand aerodynamics, or is the resemblance of the Saqqara bird to modern planes merely just a coincidence? These are some questions that experts have yet to answer. Which discovery fascinated you the most? Drop a comment below and let us know. Don't forget to check out the other amazing content we have on the screen right now. See you in the next video.